Jane had been a really useful engine at the big station. Shunting had been her profession from the other railway, making the engines appreciate her hard work. Though she loved to work on the island of Sodor, she would have had to head back to her own railway. This convinced Sir Topham Hatt to find a new and permanent station pilot. Years later, on a winter day, Jane was soon allowed to come back and visit the island of Sodor. She was feeling proud, with her new blue paint with yellow letters SDJR on the side of her tank.
I wonder how the big engines are doing. Hopefully this busy holiday season won't be too much stress on them.
Never mind that, said her driver. We should focus on getting to Knapford by this evening. The rails are slippery in these type of seasons. Jane knew fully well and carefully strolled down the line through Edward's station. That evening, she eventually made it to the big station. There, she saw James at the platform.
Is that James the red engine I see there?
Jane called out as she rolled up to him.
Jane! You came back with a new paint job. Aw, thanks. Just not as good as mine. Sorry, what? Anyway, you came back here to help. Christmas is a busy time of year. With this type of shunting, it'll be nearly impossible to get everything done on time.
Jane looked around the yard.
Whoever did this, I doubt it was Duck. Well, a certain red engine did it. Don't be so self-deprecating. Not everyone can be that perfect. I wasn't referring to me,
James annoyedly explained.
Hello there.
She smiled.
You must be Jane. But that controller mentioned another engine helping us out around here. So you must be the station pilot then. Why, yes I am. Your work here isn't the best,
Jane interrupted.
You have rolling stock all over the place in the station. I would have to pull an all-nighter to fix this.
And she puffed away angrily.
What's with her, acting like she owns the place all of a sudden? I think she just wants to be, how should I say this, a professional,
James said as he too steamed away.
More like a stuck-up engine,
Rosie muttered to herself. In the morning, Rosie was headed to the goods yard. She saw Jane already working, pushing trucks into their proper sidings.
Good morning there, Rosie, was it? Yeah, that's me. Why not be a good engine, Rosie, and stay on the side? You should watch how an actual shunter should do their work.
Rosie was shocked at this statement. She reluctantly agreed as she watched Jane do all the work. Though, as she watched, she could tell Jane was struggling to keep things organized. Rosie wanted to help, but Jane seemed more concerned with the workload. As Jane worked continuously around the yard, she saw a long line of big vans.
This may look heavy, but I've got to try.
Jane began to pull the vans, but seemed to struggle. The icy rails made it harder for her to pull.
Come on,
she repeated. Soon her wheels spun helplessly on the rails. Jane thought things couldn't get any worse as she heard Henry's whistle from up ahead. "Get out of the way, Jane!" Henry yelled as he desperately tried to apply the brakes.
Help! Oh, help!
Jane cried. Rosie saw the crisis and quickly puffed to the rescue. She pushed Jane back onto the siding as hard as she could, as Henry narrowly passed her.
Thank goodness you saved me. That's what a really useful engine would do,
Rosie smiled.
I'm sorry for coming off as rude. I just wanted to help the other engines out. At least you tried to help out. Tell you what, why not find a compromise on our workload? Would that help?
Jane smiled, and she fully agreed. The two engines still get into arguments from time to time, but they can see each other eye to eye on a daily basis. While Jane and Rosie don't consider themselves friends, the other engines best describe them as frenemies.